Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Price. This Cosmic Consciousness Ascension Deck reading is supporting our focus through the next quarter from the solstice to the equinox. Even though these cards were channeled as just a general healing tool, so that information is always pertinent, it's interesting how I was guided to read these particular cards. I was guided to choose three and to put them in a triangle with the last card at the top. And it makes so much sense, especially with the intense, profound times of change that we're in. So let's dive right in. The first card is a Pleiadian card, so it's about expansion. And when I talk about the final card, which is also Pleiadian, it has some cool tie-ins with that. The first card is unity. Unity is a powerful force of our ascension because it's the unseen truth of the physical experience. Separation, that's the visible or the obvious truth of the physical experience. So the separation that we experience, we know it's not the whole story. It's just part of the story. And our work is to focus more on the unity that we are as an individual, unified with the cosmos, with all of life on Earth, and as a collective, like the collective human experience, even though we're experiencing that separation. Now, in the booklet, it talks about how the basis of the word unity, meaning one, is also the foundation of the word unique. And this dichotomy speaks to our uniqueness, the separation of this experience, and our sovereignty and how valuable that is to life. Yet, our connection, our unity, it's also valuable, just like the individual cells of your body work together to create the whole you. Unity is how we focus into the powerful, subtle realm that builds the physical. And your unique perspective is a necessary gift to that whole experience of life. The intention for this card is I am unique and connected with all of life. Lightworkers focus into the subtle more consciously, focusing on that connection of life, using that creative force of the subtle to immerse more love into the future, more empowerment for all, more freedom, creativity, sharing, on and on. And this subtle focus supports the evolution, the trajectory of the human experience, and that creates that change over time, where unity becomes a known instead of just the invisible, misunderstood, or undervalued aspect of the Earth experience. Now, this takes us to the second card, which is a Sirian card, which focuses overall on initiation. The Sirian cards are about the inner changes that move outward into your interactions. And this internal change eventually manifests into the expansion that the Pleiadian cards focus on. The second card is new perspective. This is so important. And the booklet talks about the difference between perspectives that have variances of fear within them, which may not always be easily perceptible, but that versus a creative perspective, something that creates new versus a perspective that can't see past what was or what is into new possibility. So letting go of expectations that limit into the broad expectation of not only change, but improvement. The intention for this card, again, so perfect for the whole triad, is I am open to discover new perspectives in every situation. And this is important for our creative harmonic rather than just repeating a well-worn path with a new facade on it. And this is why the booklet talks about the importance of not having desperation or fear clouding your new perspectives too much. And sometimes that takes some effort, especially with so much collective turmoil and the proliferation of the disempowerment narratives that are just rampant now. When you are more peaceful within, you are open to those new perspectives, that new cosmic flow. And it doesn't even have to be 100% perfect, just enough for new perspective to flow to you. And this is leading so much to the final card. So let's just tie this all together. The third card is another Pleiadian card. So it's also about expansion, and it is divine union. I love this. And I'm going to talk about the imagery that I was shown and how it ties into all of the cards. And those of you on my newsletter have already read about the card that was on the bottom of the deck that also applies. So sign up for my newsletter if you aren't on there already. But I will put a link to that post below. But first, a little bit about the Divine Union card directly, because the booklet talks about first, honoring your sacredness so that you're perceiving and experiencing all life through that lens of divinity. New perspective. Weaving divinity into all that you're perceiving. Imagine that, especially with everything that's going on in the world. Imagine that, very literally. Imagine that all the greed, the destruction, the lies, the traumatic awfulness in this world is being woven with a conscious thread of divinity because of your willingness to allow a new perspective to anchor here on earth. Not that you have to view everything that's going on in the world to be able to bring that divinity here. You are that divinity. It's you connecting with your divinity, the inside job of ascension that creates more divinity here and all that comes with that. It creates more love, more wisdom, more creativity where what is can suddenly change. It creates more sharing, more compassion, more connection. The intention for this card is my divine union is my love connecting all life. My divine union is my love connecting all life. This has been a recurring theme in the monthly video intentions, especially with March's intention of connecting love for quite a while now, because it's important for the overall energies of the year from Arion, the Lyran Council of Time, that they define as wholeness. When we are whole as individuals, our interactions support more wholeness for the collective. You consciously amplifying your natural, innate, always present divine union is your wholeness in action here on earth. Now, I want to tie all of these together as I was shown, and then we'll put them up on the screen with some music. I was shown unity and new perspective on the bottom of the pyramid because that is the human action that you initiate in order to give foundation to more divine union anchoring here. That unity, perceiving that unity, having that new perspective opens your subtle bridge, your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions to divine action. It allows the expansion of divine union, which you'll even see in that wide flow of the top of the spiral that the Divine Union card actually has on it. It allows that divine perspective to become more prevalent here, to weave into the human experience. And of course, this is what our ascension is all about. The other imagery that I was shown is the seeming opposite of the tip of the triangle against the wide flow that's indicated on the Divine Union card. And what we see in the physical, it's only the tip of the iceberg. But what is actually occurring is a vast, invisible creational flow. And this is your light work, to allow yourself to see, which actually just means to feel, to imagine, to be the invisible new that's building here, that's weaving in through that spiraling energy, because we live in a spiral vortex. Everything spirals here. So as we bring up all of the cards in just a moment, feel into what the written light language is releasing and activating through your higher self, and imagine the divine love that you would like to see in the world, you would like to feel, you would like to be. And if you can't imagine that as possible here, then go broad. What would it feel like if divine union was the norm instead of the sporadic? Your unity, connecting your uniqueness to a new perspective, allowing more divine union to anchor here on earth. So take a nice, relaxing breath and enjoy the written light language.